How is everybody this evening? How are you? So I was just not at home. I'm not always not always in the painted house. I'll put the background on or something. Yeah, I was fooling around with this the other day. Whoops, where'd that go? Yeah, they're not giving me my background. Something weird. Let me see. No. Yeah. Nope. I was looking at this image the other day, and the image didn't actually come out that way. I just added the lines. So this is basically what I do with my work. I just observe until I can figure out where what belongs where by the better of the understanding and logic. And it has to agree with something that's already been created, like the platonic solids. So I would have to look at this as a platonic solid. It also fits into up here. See the way it fits in up here? So then what I said to myself is, why not get it below here so we can get a little closer? The angle here to this corner to this corner. Does this look like this? Is this in any way this? I will explain to you the two of them. Before I get on with that, what I do is I observe the reality that is in front of, I believe, most of us. And most of us, what don't see it, I can show them where it is, and it's not a big deal. It's just a piece and a part. And together, it tells a story in its own. It's a natural story from things that are fair amongst themselves, like a simple dice cube, that each side doubled up and added will equal to itself. 1 times 1, for example, is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. If I did the same to this side, it will be the same as this side. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 36 is 48. 4 and 8 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. 1 and 2 is 3. Is it Pisces? Is it Aries? Is it Taurus? Is it 2 and 1 is 3? Is it Gemini? Is it all of it added together? Virgo. What is it? It's everything. It's the science. Leave nothing out. When you're creating, you leave nothing out so you don't have to do it again. You already know the results. So, what do we have here? And what do we have here, and how is it the same? First, I will show you that there is separation between the properties, and we have a center. You can see the way the center is pointing towards the trains, the way the center is pointing towards Pennsylvania trains, and towards short line, B and O. And then the positioning from go to jail, the 30th from go plus go equals to 31, to the 29 area space, 30 from go, and with go, be the 29th area space, the first day after or the day of the menstrual cycle, 28 4/7. We'll get the trains at what is 5 from go, but actually the 6th area space. We have free parking. Go all the way to the orange here, right, is a total of how much? It's 20. So what is this? This property starting here all the way to Park Place over here is going to be 20. I've already counted go. If I eliminate go and I eliminate free parking, there is 9, one corner, and 9 equaling to 18. 1 equals to 19. 19 by 6. Why 6? Because a corner is 4 cubes. The property has 2. If there's 19 in that reality, 19 by 6 is 114. Pretty much fits into the Quran. You start here, all the way to here, and right into here. They all become the cubes. Irrelevant. I will show you that in Monopoly, there are 40. And here there are 9, 9, 9, and 9, equaling to 36 in 4 corners. That's 40. Each corner contains 4 area spaces like this, 2 by 2. The center is a 1 by 1. Therefore, you know it's going to be an offset number. The number that offsets of 1 has an area space here, 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 and here of 6. 36, 36, 36, 36, 72. And then here, add these on, right? 72. Total area spaces. And that is what the properties are like. There's also in numbers 36 reverse numbers from 1221 to 9889. Do not count. There's individuality with the 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. Where are they located, these numbers? Have you been seeing 111 lately? What is it about 111? Where does it show up? What is the math? Right? What is happening with it? What is the number? This is what I discuss, but the number is itself. You see 1201, but is it more than just 1201? Is it a 1 and a 2? Is it a 12 association? And 12 is an association of 2 area spaces. So if you had 10 and a 2, that would be 3 area spaces. The 12 you see here are 2 area spaces. So do you have a 3-9-12? A 4-8-12? A 5-7-12, a 6-6-12. What kind of 12 do you have? Do you have a 3 by 4 12? Do you have a 3 by 7 21 reverse? What is 12? What 12 do you have? This is what I do. I study the numeric anomalies. As well, what else do I do with this? I line it up to the existence of what is the planets, the constellations, area space coordinates, highways and byways, separating them between what is North America and Europe, what is Canada, US, and Mexico, what is interstates and autoroutes, all the president's men, including what they call the First Lady. See, it's the president's man and it's the First Lady, right? Remember what first is. First is the gold. Was there always a First Lady? What does it mean to be first? L-A-D, lady. Do I have to have a Y with this? Because the Y would be that flex capacitor. The flux capacitor, giving you the arm and the flex capacitor. Asking why there's no, I don't even want to say it because it's just along the lines of game theory, okay? Why there's a dominance in one sex than the other, because we don't actually know who the operator is. You know what I'm saying? It just seems to look that way. but who knows? Do you know what I'm saying? Did you push that by mistake? Yes. So what was I working on right now? Um, I'm going to finish off with the Monopoly first. With the Monopoly, I know you just got here, but I re-upload these. So this here behind us, this is the Monopoly board. See the way these arrows point towards the train here? The other one points towards the train here, points towards the train here. When you connect diagonally, each property, 1, 2, 3, 4 from the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4 from the corner, connect. And you connect with each line, right? When you do that, it tells you that story, right? Shows you how the center over here has a split by the trains. So when you draw it up here, instead of here, where you see rectangularism and the corners are square, so I had to redo square in the corner and rectangular next to it. So the minimum area space that is occupied on a Monopoly board is right here. And when you get 40, you have what is a corner of 2. An area space between here and here is 4 by 4. 2, 4 by 4, 1 by 1. 412, 412, or what is 6 up to the red, plus 1, and then 6 up to the corner. 616, or a board of 13 by 13. Man on the moon. Bar mitzvah is at the age of 13. It's a game theory. So why I say it's a game theory, I'd like to turn this into a game and see what it actually says. So if you have number 13, I have the bar mitzvah. I have the mathematical equation of 1 times 3, 1 plus 3. What is AC becomes DC. I have ABC. What is ABCD? 1, 2, 3, 4. How about 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6? 1 between 2 equals to 3. And 3 and 4 run the same corridor, a singular area space. When you have one singular area space, how will you split it into 3? Well, there's many ways to do it, but I like to just look at something that's pretty much has a good equilibrium amongst the trinity of what it is, and that's the association of 3, 4, 3 equaling to 10 equaling to 1, as if we were working with points. Point 1, point 2, point 3, point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point 1, point 2, point 3. But then when you do look at it as points, right, or ABC, I would look at it as the star system that it is. Here's our reality. Here's our reality, right? 1, 2, 3 areas, they're all fire. 1, 2, 3 areas, these 3 here, these 2 is 10. 9 and 1 is fire, 7 and 3 is air. 1 between 2 creates 3. We begin with what is that culminates together, fire and earth. To create what is 3, 3 is the air, connects with another air sign. Fire, 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 from bottom left, top right, bottom left, top right, bottom left, top right. From what is over here, the water and the earth and the fire, all going from the left to right, that when we go into the air, we're going from right to left. We go through the hoop or around the hoop into 7. Gimel. Isn't it ironic that they call the gimel, right? The sound of gimel over here. What is 7? Is it an association of 3, 1, 3? which has a mirror of what it is. Why 3 and 3 is 6, add 1. So the star system is like this. You have 4 stars. You have 1 crossing to 9, 2 crossing to 8, 3 crossing to 7, 4 crossing to 6. But we only use 3 at a time, right? We use 159, 357 with 456, 159, 357 with 852. Then we go 258, 456 with 357, 456, 258 with 1, 5, and 9. Right? So those are the 4 combinations of 3 with a star of 4. Eliminate 1, use these 3, add 1, use these 3, add 1, use these 3, add 1, use these 3. And the other part is like the motherboard. I'm just going to get a little bit of water. I'm hoping not to lose my space. I read this, I tell stories about this, or the deck of cards, or the game of pool, or the game of chess. If I knew about some of the pieces, or if you ask me a question about something, I'll tell you a story about it. But my stories come out of the word itself, the mathematics that are aligned with the alphabet that made the letter up itself. But since I am still not complete, I'm still just finished learning about how to do it. And now I know how to operate it. An Excel would be great. A game would be great to watch the pieces moving. Mars, Venus, Mercury, no moons, Venus and Mercury, yet there's moons on Earth and Mars. And to take 1 and 2 and to create 3 shows you right away what happens and where these moons are. They lie within, okay, Mercury and Venus, the controlling moons between what is Earth, the lunar moon, and Mars. This was the first one. Double 4. What's a 4? It's a 7 and a 7 with a line through it, creating 44. I can show you at the bottom. You see the 4 over here? This one, I drew the line through it, creating it on both sides. The left side and the right side, you see these 2? Well, that also, right, shows up right over here and right over here. The ace, split a line down, it creates the letter I. You live upon the cross to the left and the right hemisphere within one, the spirit and the soul. How do we connect? Or do you believe that we're not connected anywhere? And the breath, what do you breathe? The oxygen. So by the virtue of numbers, which is a lot of fun for me, 1212 right now, 33. So by the virtue of numbers, oxygen is what is ox, right? So that is the Hebrew letter Aleph. I will not speak about it yet. So we have ox, 66, YG, 77, EN, 55, 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. 5 and 5 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, 351. When you add up 1 through 26, 260 equals 351. The Aztec Tzolk'in calendar of 260 days is equatable. The word ACE are the same letters as the aces split to the left and the right hemisphere, the tetrahedron. 720. What is 720? It's a multiple. 1 by 2 by 3 by 4 by 5 by 6 equals to 720. Plus 1 through 6. And the average is pretty funny because what you can do is we have two different averages, okay? And I'm just going to do this here. 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6. There's also what is 0 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. But since we couldn't use the 0, they started at 1. But there's still six areas: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Still the completion when you're counting down: 5 over to 4, 4 over to 3, 3 over to 2, 2 over to 1, and 1 goes where? 1 goes where? And what is 0? 0 for me is you make a circle and you're on this side of the circle. That's an area space. You get the center of the circle. That's an area space. You get the right side of the circle. And then you're on the right, you're in the center, you're on the left. The protractor comes out, it sticks itself in here, and it goes all the way around. And no matter where you stop from the center along the circle, right, that is going to be a straight line towards the center, your radius. What was the other part of that? Yeah, you got to square off the circle. I didn't want to get into that right now. So I like that. So when I put myself in here, what would you say? How would you say? Would you look at it like that? Look at my bunny ears. You like my bunny ears? Or is it ham radio? Which one is it? Bunny ears or ham radio? Should we be plugged in like this? Is it something coming into us? Is it from our breath? Right? Or is it something that's stopping us? Something that's hindering us? Something that's sharing every breath with us? Something that's distorting the breath? 25,920. 440 instead of 432. Did you know 440 down and 432 down to a lower number would be 55 and 54? 55 is when you count 1 through 10, that equals to 55. 54 is like 9.9, which is under $1, like the change in your pocket. 3 by 6, 3 plus 6 is 99. 1 between 2 equals to that 3. I work with the basic realities and see what it says along the way. For instance, there's a singularity, okay, with the 1, 2, 7, and 8. And the reason for this, and I've written it 100 times, but oh yes, another thing I'm going to be discussing is what happens after the leap year on March 1st, what day it is on March 2nd, what day it is on March 3rd, and what day is it 365 days later from March 1st, and the year after that, and the year after that, until the cycle of the leap year is done. Right now, I've achieved to arrive at when you get to the first day of March, right? There are 59 days done. Actually, I'm going to use it in the leap year. There are 60 days done, just like on the clock. It would be like starting the new minute on the clock, March 1st. Since the equatable days in February are 59 days, the equatable moon meaning 28 days, and 28 days is 56. February already reaches 59 and 60 in the leap year. I need to continue on to the 84th day, in which equates this 21 dot cube 4 times and 3 times 28 to equal to 84. But yet we must go over to the end of the 13th moon, and the 13th moon ends on April 1st and on March 31st in the leap year. What happens on the 20th of April, on the 20th of March? What happens? Okay, and many are saying that this should be the starting of the year, is the 2x4 gates, the 88 constellations, um, are it's in respect to, I believe, the 88 constellations and the powering up of the matter and the energy. And the reason I say this, the numeric value of matter and energy, 151, which holds between 1 and 5, 4, 3, 2 healing or harmonics in it. It's like saying this: two fire signs with 432, water, air, and earth in between two fire signs. Where was I with this? Yes. So what it is when you count 1 through 13, the Mayan Aztec used the 7 and the 13 and the sunstone for 20. So that 7 by 13 is 91. The 91st day is March 31st in a leap year, April 1st in a non-leap year, which is the 92nd day, like the 29th day in a leap year. What is 2 and 9 and 9 and 2? What is it? What does it do in the game of pool? It's the first day of the next cycle. It is what is the first 11 is 2, 9, 11. The first 19 is unlike what is the first 29. There's differences in numbers. 29 is the first day of the second cycle after the menstrual cycle. 29 starting at the 29th day and not at the 1st through 28 is the first day in the cycle of the year. 1 for the lunar moon. Whose moon? Which moon? I'll get back to that Monopoly again. Do we connect the spirit and the soul? Do we connect the spirit and the soul? Sandman. We need to connect the sky and the twilight. And here's our connection. Ham. H-A-M. A through M equals to 91, the spirit. Ham. H. 8. What is 8? The silver cord. Why? 1 and 7 equals to 8. Although 2 and 6 equals to 8, that's on the cube. 1 and 7 is the full extension of the cube. It splits the half zone. There is no 7 on a cube. It's a 1 and a 6, 7. This pig is a 797 numeric. Ham radio, Abraham, right? Split hoof to connect. Count nothing out. What you shouldn't forget is what they tell you to never touch. So you shouldn't forget. Phobos and Demas. And you. Phobos and Demas. Over your shoulders. Mars. We got to keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it cool. For the computers, we got to keep them really cool. Cool them all down. We got to go to the great north. We're living in this machine. Are we part of the anatomy of the machine? Are we living in a fishbowl? If you would go skydiving, jump out of the plane, you're actually floating. I did it. I'm floating in the air. You are actually floating. It's just that we're just going so slow right now. It seems like you're falling. You know what I'm saying? We should never reach the ground. I'm going to go get a glass of water. I'm going to come back. So what do I do? What do I study? What is this page about? Social media. Game theory. What the game says, what the alphabet says, what the numbers say about each other, how they mathematically come to meet each other. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals to 6 and 5, 11. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals 6 and 5, 11. 7 times 2, 14. 7 plus 2, 9. 9 and 14, 23. 2 and 3 is 5. 5 times 3, 5 plus 3, 15 and 8, 23. 2 and 3 is 5. 1 is an 8, 1 is a 9. From the heaven's birth in the 5 by 3, hook me up to the moon. 53, 35 hooks up to 57, 75. and ask me about it again. I'll repeat the exact story. Can't make a mistake. Why? Because it's right in front of us. ABC 1, 2, 3, nothing more. Mike, Jack, Sun, and 5. Everything is about the sunstone of 5, right, Jack? I'll be back. How's everybody doing? Today I went and was listening to this one of the channels, Mystic Circle or something, and it's hard to get the right either question. Either I didn't ask the right question, this channel sounded a little fresh, and I never liked that. But when I did put a comment out, I was humbly answered, although I was misunderstood. You're only allowed to write a certain number of words, and I'm always like talking backwards. So like, forget about that. Here art thou, I am come to see the page, and I blessed upon me that I can rest upon you to be. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't get anything out, and I didn't want to get cut short, so I didn't want to bring myself up, because when you get cut short all the time, it gets to you for a bit, and you got to restabilize yourself. So, anyways, just bringing it about. I just like the way they. I haven't studied their group yet, but it seems like they're using the same theory that I'm using with the numbers on how to balance out the zodiac. It was interesting. A, I don't know if I'm drinking enough water. B, should I be drinking too much water? If water is memory, maybe I'm going to get too mixed up. If the pH is wrong, I don't know. So maybe if I just don't drink a lot of water, I'll be able to drain what's inside of me to wake it up. There's a lot of things you can think of, true or not true. So, anyways, what happens on March 19th, which is the last day of Pisces, and what is, I'm trying to see if I got it right, March 1st, which is the 60th day or the 61st day, if you're in the leap year. What happens is, let me see, yes, right here. 31 days in January, 28 days in February, 19 days leaves 70 days left over. This is a singularity. And here's 114. 19 and 28, 9 and 19. Once you go from 19 to 28, the birth comes in, bringing on the 28 cycle. 919 are the letters I and S, and when drawn on square paper, they can look like 1 and 5, holding your vibration in 19, which is also could be looked at as the heart of the cube, noting that there are 12 edges and there are 6 heart areas and 1 center in Rubik's Cube. So I have to come out, I'm going to be coming out with an instruction booklet on the items I use and how I use them in order to create the equations that bring the alphabet, the words, a little bit to a closer, a better or different understanding or perspective because of what the numbers say themselves. And then for those who study what the numbers say, we can create different equations. For instance, on the cube, 1 and 6 go together, making 7. 1 and 6 create 7 corridor. In between 1 and 6 is 2, 3, 4, 5. When you add 2, 3, 4, 5, it equals to 14. So the first corridor of 1 through 6 is your 14. So when you take this cube and you spin it around, you will have 6, 5, 1, 2. And if you take another corridor, irregardless if the 4-3 corridor is only a 1 corridor and there's only 0.1 in between here, not even, it's a shared area space. But what is outside 3 is 1 and 2. And what is outside 4 is 5 and 6. And 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 is 14. And then if you ended up taking the 2, and what is between 2 and 5 is 3 and 4. And what is after 5 is 6. And what is before 2 is 1. And 1 and 6 is 7. And again, we have the same equation. Because all of these bands are 14. On these bands. Why are they 14? Reverse sides 1 through 6 equals to 21. Therefore, one side is 7. 2 sides is 14. When you go all the way around the cube, if you saw 3 on the top here, then you'll see 3 on the next one, 3 on the next one, and 3 on the next one. It'll be 12 around. Happy birthday. 9 to a face. It's 9 to a face. 12 around. 9 for the birth, 12 for the day. How long does that day last? What actually constitutes a day? What is day 7? If you take a look at this cube here, there is no 7. When you add it up, it is 7. 7 is the fine line. It's a one area space that is shared to the left and to the right. And what is 6 is now 5.5. It is no longer of all the 6. In fact, what the center here of 3.5 is no longer 3.5. It's to the left 3.3 and to the right 3.3. And then in the first house it's 0.3, and in the last house it's 0.3. Let me explain it. Three, 4, 3 equals 1. 0.3, 0.4, 0.3. You share the heart of the area. It's a singular area space. How do we divide it up fairly? Since 1 between 2 equals to 3, we put it up this way. What happens here? Yeah, we can go the rainbow, take a rainbow and jump over the top, or we can jump here to here and then here to here. And actually, when things are straight, this is the way we're supposed to be actually. This is the way we're actually According to my work, we're supposed to be like this. The pool table is rectangular. To create the extra area spaces, right? We have to create from the excuse me, we bring things together or spread them apart. We end up with the 8.5 by 11 page or whatever you want to call it. So, or the card versus the dice cube. Yeah, I just wanted to get the back off. Yeah, I sometimes bumble up, right? Things that we have to remember to ask. Ask me about this. Ask me about this. 13 and 13, the gematria. 1 all the way to 7, right up here. Okay, whatever. Anyways, ask me about this thing. I don't know what you want to call it. The ace. Call it the skeleton ace. The monopoly. Wow, now I forgot what I was going to put out there. Wow. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. So what you got is 7 by 7 by 7, right? So when you have 1 through 7, it equals to 28. So you would have a moon cycle. They say 1 through 7 is the piano, right? They also have 1 and 7 equals to 8H, or the 17th letter, okay, is Q. You can have 1 through 7, and they have AG. And you have AG, you have the silver. So as well, the reverse alphabet of A, B, C, D equals to J10 is going to be Q17. Now, when you have 17, the French will say 10, 7. Now, I don't know if it's 10 minus 7 or is it 10 plus 7. So this one would be 3C. And this one over here is going to be what is 17Q, which this one over here is going to be Leo. This one over here is going to be Gemini. Gemini and Leo are pretty cool. It's what is A, B, C. So Gemini will be what is A, B equals to C3, and Leo will be BC equaling to what is 5E, almost like saying BCE. That is the 23.5 angle, or where we are right now, right? Because double that up is 47, right? 47 are the letters GD. Just by coincidence, right? Just by coincidence. So this 10-7, okay, is also at 17, then 34, and then 51. Did you know Mars, is 51, and 34 is the association of the plank between Earth and Mars? And when we spoke about, yes, the 3, 4, 3 equaling to 10. This is also a multiplication of 7 by 7 by 7 equals to 343. 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals to 21, and 343 is equatable to 13 by 28 equals to 364, which, as I said before, 1 through 13 equals to 91, and 91 by 4 equals to 364. The beginning, I said 1, 2, 7, 8 is singularity, and when I add from 1 to 12, it equals to 78. And this is the bat mitzvah, right? The 13 would be the bar mitzvah. And this is where we end up at the king. And the king is number 41. And here we end up with the queen. Queen is number 62, right? 62, part of 31, right? Even, right? Duality. duality. The upper house, 2 through 6, okay, 2 through 6, the upper house is going to equal to 20. The lower house is 5 and 1, right? And that's going to equal to 15. You put it together, it's 2015. The letters are TO. It is what is a 4 by 5 and what is a 3 by 5. And as I spoke before, the 4 by 5, okay, are, I'm going a little fast. I have to slow down. I don't know why. I go fast to tell the whole story. I don't want to lose anybody, but I think it's important that others just ask, what is this all about? Here's your basic 4, right? The 4 connects. But you're only, in order to create the equations, you will create the 4 equations that you connect with 3. Then you'll put the equations, right, that you can connect with 2. Uh, So, right? And then all the singular equations. And then there's the understanding of area space. Eleven, 22, 33. The outside of this one here will make your 44. The outside of this one over here will make your 55. This is going to be your freedom 55. This is Abraham and Isaac, Ishmael and Jacob. Right? The basis of it, Sarah, all coming into the house. And this is where we bring back no, I don't want to put that one up. I want to put a better one up. Yeah, so this is it, this one over here. All right, so this is one house dimension, one face of the cube. I'm going to finish my writing what I was writing out before from the 343 and explain the math that goes with it. So in this here, you have the house as the dimension. There's supposed to be 4 here, but I'm showing you one face, so it's double nickel. Right? When you travel underneath here, right, you go from this side over to this side. 5, 5. So every time you travel, right, to one of the, between the air and the air, the fire and the fire, the earth and the earth, when you travel north and south between your fixed and mutable signs. Anyways, Abraham is 44. The reverse cube of 44 is 33. The 2 sides have a passage gate right over here that needs to be added. A single area heart space to get to both sides. So what is Ishmael? Ishmael is 67. Water is 67. Soul is 67. Ishmael is 67. What is 7? I'll show you in a minute. What is 6? Mars 51, 6. Earth 52, 7. V1, which is a 22. And V1, 1. What is a 22? The 22nd letter, the 5th reverse into the E world, the split house. So when you cross over at 7 and 6. The 3 and the 4, to complete them, it takes 7 and 3 and 6 and 4 to make them complete. They go back to the beginning as 1. So you find the heart of it. And there's no more than six. So the 12 zodiac signs are 6 and 6. So if we count 12, we're not counting properly. Would Pisces not be 9 and 3, 12, the birth? Or into the heavens, 8 and 4? 4 and 3 are the only way. After that, it's more than and an add on 2. 1 between 2 equals to 3. 3 runs the quarter of 4. 9 and 4, 13. Aries, 9 and 3, 12. Pisces. They run the same corridor. So what's going on? I don't know enough about the zodiac, but I do know enough about the numbers to listen to those who do know about the zodiac, so I can see the numeric reality, because this can't be changed, but the stories can. This will, I believe, put the stories in a better conjuncture. Is that a good word? I'm not really good with my words. Their elite transformation. Where was I? Yeah, just give me 1 second. I just want to write this out. Yeah, a little tired. I don't know why. Got to pump myself up. Okay, so what did we have? We had the 7 by 7. Okay, yes. Oh, right. I did it up there already. I did it down here. I did that. Right. Okay, so the. Yeah, there are so many intricate things to do. Like when I see a number 3 and 6, if I say 36, I'll go, okay, it's Pisces. But the number 3 and the number 6 is Gemini and Virgo. Unless I go backwards, I will say it is Capricorn and Libra. And if I look at 10, will I say it's the association of 10? And will 3 and 6 bring me Sagittarius at 9? And is 10 an association? Like when I see this over here, it's Capricorn. When I see this, it's Sagittarius. So should I say 19? Is it 19, or is it like the French say, 10-9? So is it 10 minus 9? Is it Capricorn minus the Sagittarius? What is Sagittarius 9? Are you counting forward or backwards? Right? So we always have to go both ways. Everything's an answer to something, but the calculations have to be correct. I'm going to get some water. I want to see if I did this right over here. Yes, 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 yes. What didn't I talk? Oh, yeah. So we did the seventh. Okay. So what is it about the singularity about the 1278? And I spoke about the 1 7, the silver cord. What's the 1 7 also does is 1 times 7 equals to 7. 1 plus 7 equals to 8. Pretty ironic, right? I said the 7 and the 8 are singularity. Now 7 times 8 equals to 56. Now that's not singularity. Now 56 to the seventh gate is a singularity. Why? 5 and 6, okay, are duality. Invert to 1 and 2 in the cube for singularity. And also, one is singularity and the other is duality, but they're a singularity in their own reality. It's one of these and two of these. That's what it is. It's just two of them. It's just one of these. One plus 7 okay, equals to 8. Now 8 and 7 equals to 15. The 15 and 56 goes back to 71, and we started right. 1 7 goes back to 1 7 through 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is when you add 1 through 12, it equals to 78. When you spell TW equals to 43, E5 equals to 48, L12 equals to 60, V equals 22 equals to 82, and E5 says 12, 87, 1 through 12 equals to 78. So what is this about? The Queen, 12, the Bat's Mitzvah, 336 days, 6 by 6 by 6 equals to 216, 216 minutes is 3 hours, 36 minutes, which is 336 days, or the last day of the 12th moon. The 13th moon begins on 7/31. Representation of the male, 337th day of the year, 217th minute, or equatable to 7 by 31, or 7 months by 31 days. Happening on what is ABC on December 3rd. The 12th month, the 3rd day, the 337th day. I don't remember if it was the leap year or not. It's something new I just learned, so I haven't repeated it enough. You know what I find ironic? I don't know if that's a good word, but is that ape, hold on a second. Ape is 22, right? It's the master number. Gorilla is 74, right? It's the equivalent to everything to do. First of all, it's 11, another master number, and everything to do with 5. 5 plus 14 plus 23 plus 32, 74. So when you complete 5 with A, B, C, D, right, in which what ABC taught us before, what the ABC teaches us here, ABC and the combinations of. So I just run it off the combinations. It doesn't matter. It can be replaced by anything. It always works out. So the 1 times 7, that silver cord goes over here. It's rotating. It goes back to 7 and 1. So the 7 and 1, if you want to look at that, does anybody know what Shema is? Well, Ishmael. Every 71 minutes, 1 times 71, 2 by 71, 3 by 71. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so thirsty. 2 by 71, 3 by 71, 4 by 71, 5 by 71, 6 by 71, 7 by 71, 8 by 71, 9 by 71. I always like to go as far as I can go. And this is an incomplete science, right? The science is real, but it's still incomplete because we don't know where all the pieces and parts go. I do know why I stop on 6. I do know why 5 is the most you can have. Every sport tells you a different story. This cube, when I plug it in to the wall, I lose one side. I have one facing you, so you know it's plugged into the wall. The moon is plugged in. You know why? On this cube, you see 1 dot. If I flip it around, you see 6. The thing is, if you look in the center over here, you can see there's no dot here and there's no dot here. So it becomes 1 dot, missing 6 dots, and 2 dots. Do you know 216? 6 by 6 by 6? I just talked about it right here. And also 1 and 2, you can call that 12 o'clock. 6, you can call that 6 o'clock. So you got the double digit 12 going up to 18 and the lonely 6 that goes down to 9. So the 18, where the 12 is, okay, is going to equal to what is 6, and the lower clock is going to be 3. 6 and 3 to the void, what is 12 and 6 to the visual. Now, where did I get that from? Let me re-explain it again. When you look at a single digit or an area space, if you're looking at it as numbers, right, you're going to complete the area blank space to total 9. If it's 2 digits, it's 9 and 9, 18. So if one of the area spaces is 1, the other area space is 2, on the 12 area, you will have a 7 and an 8. And that's where the plug-in again is. And that's the Capricorn hour at midnight. When you have the 6, you have a single digit for this lunar moon, right? I want to see what that is. Yes, and you'll have 3. You'll have 3 missing. Just let me see. Yes, you'll have 3 missing. So you'll have 3. Okay, so you'll have the beginning of your duality where 1 and 2 comes together in this. Do you follow where I'm going with this? Do you see what I see? And what's so cool about this? Here's your 1 2. Here's your 8 7. This is singularity. I'm going to show you soon. 315 513 315 135. Ask me to explain that. Okay. Although the letters are ACE, although it can be ME, I'm not saying matter and energy, right? I'm not saying 153 fish that came out of the ocean. I'm not saying you can divide it by 3 equaling to 51, divided by 3 equals to 17, right? Or is it 9? 9 by 17 is 90, and 63, the male phallus gets plugged into this earth. 1, 5, and 3, 1 and 8, 1, 3, and 5, right? So this one is 45 by 3. 135, 225, the angle of coming into the house at the 225-degree angle. 351, we're left with 9 degrees. 315, we're left with 45 degrees. So there's many ways to look at this. It's also ACE. The heart of the alphabet is 13.5. It can also be pull. The 13 and the 5 is an orange ball made up of red and yellow. Singularity, for the reason that we're going to just take off the back. It's the singularity in this equation. What? Whoop. One. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 0, 6 and 3, 5 and 4, 4 and 5, 3 and 6. Each one of these is 9. You will see these happen twice, but these in the corner only happen once. One and 6 is 7 reverse. The void, what you don't see, the 6 3, the 1 8, the 1 8, the 6 3, 11. The 5 2, right? The 5 4, the 5 4, the 5 2, the 2 is with the 7. 2 and 7, 5 and 4, 7, 11. When you see the 4 3 7, you have the 4 with the 5 9, 4 with the 5 9, 6 with the 3. You have 11. It's 21 and 11 on the cube. You minus 6 from 1. Let's not start there. We'll start here. 4 minus 3 is equivalent to 7 minus 6, equaling to 1a. 5 minus 2 is equivalent to 8 minus 5, equivalent to 3c. 9 minus 4 is equivalent to 6 minus 1. 5e, it says ace 13.5, split the alphabet, split the sun. Just stand up. I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be back in a minute. Just gonna get water. Stay here. Yeah, I'm getting water. Okay, I just joined the live. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so we saw what went on there, right? That was pretty simple. That was pretty simple. That was pretty simple. Okay, so let me see if we have this other thing. Okay, so here's another thing with numbers. It seems like whoop, the game of roulette. So this game here is 36 numbers, right? So can we say 6 by 6 equals to 36? Can we say that? So the thing about this is that when you have 3 cubes, right? When you have 3 cubes, I'm just trying to see if I can say this. On the ring side of the cube, there are 4 faces. I call this the ring side. What I hold is the pole. And I'm holding in a C. And in the C shape is here. Where would the circle be? Would the circle be here? Would the circle be this cube? Because it spins in a circle? but this is the C. At what point do I have the circle? Is there a bridge and there's a cube spinning on this bridge between here and here, and I'm just doing this? Or am I holding on to my own cube? Anyways, irregardless, around the band, okay, if you looked at Rubik's Cube, okay, there would be around the band, what you would see is 4 sides of 9 colors equaling to 36. That's that reality. If I have 3 of these cubes, right, or if I turn it to the 3 opposite sides, right, the equatable in here will be 18 and 18. So now I'm going to just throw that out the door and tell you something simple. I have 3 cubes. Each cube has 6 sides, right? That's a total of 18. I have 3 cubes. The minimum amount on a cube is 1. Okay, so I have 3 cubes, and the minimum is 1, and the maximum is 6. So 1 times 3 equals 3, and 6 times 3 equals to 18, right? Now, because the trinity of 111 or 666, I'm just trying to see I forget what the payout is. It pays out the entire area space, so I'm not sure how to explain this part. I'm gonna have to study the game a little bit more, but what I will tell you, okay, is from the heart of this cube, it's 3.5. Since we're talking about 3 cubes, it becomes 10.5. In this case here, 2 opposite sides of a cube equal to 18, right? Equal to 18. So when I show you this over here, okay, and this over here, 7, the maximum any cube can have from the minimum, which is 1, will be 7. And the maximum you can take away from anything is 7, right? So 3 plus 7 is 10. 18 minus 7 equals to 11. And when you look on this board here, you will see that both, where is it? Yeah, okay, here's 11. That means the 10 has to be here. Here's the 10. 10 and 11 are black. Now, I'm only working on this theory now. I just learned about this week, that when you go to the opposite side of the board, which is 28 and 29, 2 and 8 is 10, 2 and 9 is 11. So what that is this. The high and the low of 3 cubes, right, which equates to only 18 sides. Not the duality here, but I'm not showing the duality anyways. I'm stopping at 18. I'm not stopping at 36, which is twice what is. So this is its reflection, equaling to 57. That's the moon. And when you look down here, 21, that's the cube and that's the moon. Those are your cycles, the beginning and the end of a cycle. The first one goes 1 through 28. The second goes 29, right, through 27. Did you know that 29, second cycle goes 28 days, the same thing, right? But 27 by 29 is the Schumann resonance. Just really freaky. Just really freaky to know that. Okay, so that's what this is. So when you see this, you automatically know, right, that this is the reverse of each other. I'm just trying to see here. We have 2 air signs. 18, we have Virgo. Yes, oh, I love it. Over here, we have Virgo in its second cycle and Libra in its first cycle. Second cycle of Libra is 19. Yeah, that's right, 19. Why do I say that? And then after that, okay, it's 31. Go to jail. And after that, it's 43, walking the plank with Mars, and then 55. 7, okay, just do this. 4 times the zodiac, 12 is 48, plus 7 is 55. Remains 55, sky pass Libra, remains in 7. 77 is matter, 77 is power, 77 is Christ, and it returns to the ocean. 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. That 14 creates the feminine. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is 4 and 5. That's the feminine, how the feminine and the masculine come together in this game, and it works out to spell love. No joking around. I don't joke around. I have no time for joking around. Wow, 1:08 a.m. Wow, it's late. I think somebody wanted to come up. I'm not sure. No, I don't know what that was. It's late. I'm going to keep it really short. Too tired to stay up. I need the questions. Oh yeah, we'll just do this one here. So what this is, right, is 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. I count by twos, right? Because counting by ones, right? You see these ribs in between? See the way they overlap? That's right. It's a divided area space. When you're counting 1 and 3, it's 3 over to 2, and 1 over to 2, it's the area space. What's this here? Oh yes, I was working on the diamond theory also. Pretty funny the way this, which one is it? This one comes together. 5 times 5 times 5, 125, 1.25 days left over in the 7th year. Give us that free gate. This is the 7th inning stretch. We get the silver matrix in 20. 8 and 5 says he. This is like what is 2-5? It is 8-5. Just trying to see what's inside of here. Abraham millimeter. Anyways, I can put most of these in their position. They talk, their numerics match up to the numerics. I'm just trying to figure out how to say this. It's just an easy comparison. Anybody can match anything up, right? I'm just trying to see which one. So this one here gives you the energy in your birth, and this is the electric moon. So 5675 connects your 2 air signs, the wolf that blows from Mars. 5665, 121, 1111. Cribbage, Saturn square. 1.5. Okay, look at that. Saturn square is about 15. It's 2 fire signs. Jesus energy, okay, is right here. 3737 is a completion of 2 boards of 36, which is 72. Why is the mother 72? Just works out that the word bet, 9 times 8, and money are both 72. 9 times 8, right? Which when you divide it by 7, they work out at 128, 1285714, I think, and the other one's 142857. So it becomes the first one in the lunar moon. When you go to 2, count Mars in. When you go to 1, count our lunar moon from Earth in. Okay, I think we can get to that. No, I didn't want to go to that one. I wanted to maybe. Yeah, I don't know where it is. And then there's different houses, like 2 per line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So here I was counting by 4s, but only putting 2 per line. And then the crisscross would be 55, equaling to the air sign. And this one, B3 per line, still counting the 4s. And then you can see the 1 over here, the 1 over here, the 3 over here, the 3 over here, the 2 over here, the 4 over here, the 4 over here, the 2 over here. So it's going to be a crisscross of 2, 6, 6, 6 in this equation here. And then you can see the values that go along. So here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 per line. Means I have to start over at 1 on the same line. First line is 11, second line is 12. This is out of the ocean. When you're going 4 per line, well, guess what? It ends 7 per line, right? You go 1 to 4 over to 3, and here's your evaluation, right? And then there's many ways to look at this to discuss before we put it in the game. You can say, well, the 16th zodiac sign is Cancer, being that there's 12 signs plus 4. You can also say this is 9 and 7 equal to the 16. This is what is the lower house. If you equated this to the upper house, you can do many things. You can go 9, 8, 7, 6. Why? We have a rule book. The rule book is here. Here are the numbers. If the 1 is low, the 9 is high. I can replace it. In reality, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5 connects both sides. It's 5, 4, 5. But in reality, it's the 5th position, but it's only one area space. So you would go 4, 1, 4. You can also go 8 around 1, but that 8 is a consistent of 4, 1, 4. The 8 can also be a consistent of what is 8. See, this here is 5142, which is going to reverse 5362. Okay, so 4251. So when I show you 42, right? I'm just going to turn the dice around, and you have 51, right? 4251. So the opposite of 51, right, is 62. So the opposite of 51 is 62. The opposite of 42, the opposite of 42 over here is going to be 51, 42, wow, 50, okay, yeah, 53, yeah. 42 is opposite 53, and 24, 15 is opposite of 62. So where am I? What did I say? 42? So here's your 42. Hold on, 42. That'll be opposite 53. 53. See? This dice cube is perfect. Now the reverse of that, right, is going to be the high side up here. And even the mathematics are perfect. Even the math is perfect. I've never really tried the high side math. Let me check something out. Well, this one works out like 2 opposite 5, right? The 2 opposite 5. So that'll work out with 7. I'm just trying to see something. That'll end up to be a 9. And the 4 will be a 6. No, that won't work out. But I'll just show you anyways. Anything in this row, in fact, anything with 8, right? Anything with 8 always equates to 8. But anything to do with 2, 5, and 8, 2 times 2, 2 plus 2, 4 and 4 is 8. 5 times 5, 5 plus 5, 25 and 10, 35, 3 and 5 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64, 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 8, and that'll connect the silver gate. One of many connects to the silver gate. Yeah, I wrote a whole bunch of stuff in the last couple of weeks, and I got to go over it again from Yod Hey Vav Hey, from Tetragrammatron, from Metatron. If you got questions about that, you got some numbers. So what it is when you multiply 1 times 8, 1 plus 8, it's 9 and 8, 17. You got the silver cord equals to 8. This is not on the cube. 2 times 8, in fact, none of the 8s are on the cube. But 2 times 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. 2 plus 8 is 10. Look at that, 1 and 7, back to a silver cord, equals to 8. 3 by 8, 24. 3 and 8, 11. 11 and 24 is 35. 3 and 5 is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 and 32 is 44. Abraham is 8. And each one of these equations will create another equation. This one here, look at that. And this one here will keep repeating to the silver gate. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 plus 8 is 16. Again, 7 and 1 coming together to the silver gate at 88. Constellations is 8. And 7 by 8 is 56. And 7 and 8 is 15. Here comes the white wolf. 7 and 1 back to the silver gate again. But this one is 11 over here in 6. Not the same thing. 11 and 6, 17. Right? And this one over here, this is where the divided seventh gate, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, creates 6 and 8. So in this equation, 6 and 8, you get 14 and 48, which creates 5 and 3. This is hooked up to electric company through the 7th gate of the moon. 6 and 2 is 8. Unlike the 2 and 6, which creates the 2-8 cycling of the moon, 4 sevens of the cycling gates. 5 by 8, 40, 5 by 8, 13. So you create 44 AC over here. 13, the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah. 13 and 12. How does it rank out? 5 and 3, 4 and 4. There's another 5 and 3 in here, electric company. So here is your 8th family. Another thing about 8, it ends with a T. It's the only word in numbers that ends with a T. So when you go 8th, you do not add the T and the H. You just add the H for 8. When you go 18th, you do not add the T-E-E-N-T-H. You just add the E-E-N as the T is already there. So that's T for the gateway. And in that gateway, right over here, and 8 is also the 8 ball. In between the 2 7 balls, a 717, again, back to the silver gate. Let me see if my camera's working over here. Oh, it's a little dark, eh? So I want to see if I have one picture of, let me see. See, normally I'm hanging out here. This is home. Right? That floor is not by chance, right? That's a copycat of binary code in the top right corner. The roulette game on the bottom left. Removing the penny from the Canadian market. Pi. What is pi? Right? What is pi? What is binary code? All these things. Anyways, a little bit tired. Gonna head to bed. I might be on here one of 2 times, either very early in the morning or somewhere around, I don't know, what is it, Monday tomorrow? I'm going to see. I'm going to try and see what is the best time. If you line me up some questions. Line me up some questions. I'll speak with you later. Maybe I'll join somebody's live. I doubt it. Got to go for now. Thank you, Kate.